hold up, I'm breaking ankles like some old tops. My rhyme steady going, please don't ask me if the flow stop. Deep in the pocket like the roof on a drop top. 101 Dalmatians, the way your boy drop dots. Man, hold up, I got you diving when I'm juking. The clips so sick like the smell from when you're pooping. I ain't get down and click the sub button and hit the bell, cause I got a lot more of it. Yeah, who's mains? Terrence House head, who's mains? Batman, Bruce Wayne.
What's goody, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy WhosManz. You already know what time it is. Getting into another video, Sunday sermon video. This is probably gonna be a longer one, and this is gonna be one where I kind of ramble on a little bit. Fridays are gonna be the quicker one. I may actually end up double uploading on Friday, doing the quick Sunday sermon and then like another gameplay. That way you guys have 3 gameplays, and then yeah. So before we get into everything, if you are new and you like content like this, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and the bell, so you never miss an upload. I'll do stuff like this on Fridays and Sundays, and yeah, so let's get into it. So I'm gonna be going over the sermon, Do the New You, and if you didn't see it, that's fine. You can look it up, just type that in, you'll find it. But if you did want to watch it, that's cool, man. Actually, real quick, comment in the chat if you did watch that sermon. It's pretty cool. So yeah, man, I'm just gonna go over that. Basically, you know, like each year people have different sayings, you know, new year, new me, or I'ma just do me, stuff like that. And it's interesting because I used to do New Year's resolutions. I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then, you know, like halfway through the month you just kind of stop doing it, or you may get a couple months in and then you just kind of stop because this, that, and the third happen, you know, the job, or, you know, your kids, or whatever it is, sports, school, and you just kind of, you know, take your time and end up falling out of it. One thing that I've tried to stop doing is the New Year's resolutions, and it ended up turning into like, oh, I'm gonna just do me, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are just like, yeah, I'm gonna do me. And it's kind of funny because the way he was talking about it was like, sometimes we just don't have it all figured out, you know what I mean? And sometimes we need to actually still change some things up. It's not necessarily a New Year's resolution, but it's just, hey, you know what? Whether it's like, hey, I want to stop cussing so much, so let me stop cussing so much, you know, or if you're like, hey, I'm not the guy to do this, I'm not the guy to go to the gym, so I'm gonna just do me and just not go to the gym, or, you know, whatever it is, I'm not the guy to do this. And honestly, man, if you think about it, there is a verse that I'm gonna bring up, and I think some people misinterpret it, but I'm gonna bring it up right here. It says in Philippians 4:13, I can do all this through him who gives me strength. And I remember at first I was thinking like, oh yeah, I can just, you know, I can do really anything I put my mind to. I can do all that through, you know, God. So obviously I'm not going to be like, I can fly, I can jump off the bridge and fly because of him. Like, I got to also be kind of realistic. But I now took that as a, like, okay, you know what? When it comes to church, like, I was like, oh, I'm just not the guy to, you know, get very emotional at church and, you know, call out and stuff like that, or, you know, close my eyes during songs and stuff and really pray during the songs. But I was just thinking about that one, and it was just like, hey, you know what? I can do that, and I do get very emotional during songs anyway. It's just that I don't try to accept the fact that I do. So, yeah. So I've made a couple of changes, as like, I'm gonna get off Instagram in the morning. I have to pray about it, and I have to believe and accept that that's happened, that like I'm gonna beat that feeling that I'm gonna just get up and start getting on Instagram and looking at this, that, and the third, and, you know, looking at skateboard videos and stuff, video game stuff in the morning, and spend more time on my Bible. spend more time reading and reflecting on things like that, spending more time praying and things like that. So, and you can apply that to literally anything. If you want to start working out, man, and you say that you're not a gym guy, and just say you go to the gym already, I don't know, 3 days a week, and it's just you've been doing that for several years. Maybe you are a gym guy. You know what I mean? Maybe you are a gym guy. Maybe you are that guy that you say you're not. You can do all that just through prayer and petition, man. And you have to really receive it. You know what I mean? You have to really believe that you have you know what I mean? You have to really believe that prayer has been answered. You can't just be like, hey, I pray that I don't know, I'm gonna just throw this random thing out here. I pray that you give me strength for this week, and then you go in that week and just like, this week is gonna, beat me. You have to go in there also and really accept the fact that God is giving you the strength to go through that week. So if you sit there and you're like, man, I'm not the kind of guy to pray, in the car, before work or something like that, in the mornings before school, or I'm not the kind of guy to do all that stuff. Sometimes, you know what, look, this is, I'm a following your path, God, so I'm gonna go ahead and do all that stuff. And when you really open up your heart and you really just let it happen, like you let God do his work, man, a lot of those things will start happening for you. I'm starting to see that because, once again, I was just like, I'm not that kind of guy to be in church and, be the one who has his hands up during songs, and I'm not the guy to be crying at church. It's just not me. I'm sitting there stone cold, just the hardest dude at church. But man, I done found myself first Sunday of the year, I'm crying, and it wasn't even the preacher didn't even start preaching yet, and it's just like, man, I got to make these changes, but I'm gonna accept it, and I'm no longer gonna put that limitation on myself that I'm not that person, or I'm not that guy, or I can't do it because I don't know how. Whether it's like, man, I don't even know how to start going to the gym. I don't even know how to get better at writing. I don't know how to learn Spanish. I mean, it really doesn't matter what it is, but like, man, God made you exactly the way he's supposed to make you. You're able to do really anything through him. If you want to learn Spanish, if you want to get to the gym more, if you want to have a better prayer life, if you want to get closer to God, man, like he's made you more than equipped to handle all that stuff, man. So you can do all that stuff through God, man. You just have to pray about it. You have to believe and accept it. So that is my little take away from that, because a lot of that stuff I was like, man, I don't even know how to, man. I was seeing all these other people, man, they seem to be able to do this, that, and the third. I don't even know if I can do that. I'm sitting there making excuses, and those excuses are setting limits on myself, and it's like, I don't want to set those limits on me, man. God didn't set a limit on me. You know what I mean? God was like, bro, I made you in my image. You can do literally anything with me. You know what I mean? Just use me, and you can do literally anything you set your mind to, and you can do all things through him. With that being said, too, is we have to do it through his will. So we can pray for things. You know what I mean? Like, but one thing that I actually learned today in church is just that, like, we got to pray for God's will to be done, because sometimes you want stuff, and then, for instance, have you ever been like, man, I really want this thing, and then you don't get it, but then you go back and you look at it and you're like, man, I'm kind of glad I never got that, because your boy would have been toast. Like, if I would have got the car that I wanted when I was younger, I'd have probably been flown in the back of somebody's car and hurt myself, or somebody would have then died. So but yeah, man, there's just a lot of different things. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop believing that you can do these things. You keep on, man. Sometimes it's a change of attitude. It's a way to not limit yourself. Like, God is always with you in these things. So yeah, man, I think I'm gonna stop that right now. I'm not gonna do a whole 20-something minute video. I just take these Sunday videos to really talk more about some of the stuff I picked up on. So I guess after this, man, if y'all had any questions or anything like that, man, feel free to put them in the comments. Or if you had any statements or testimonies, what have you, I don't know, feel free to put them in the comments, man. And also, I encourage people to just, hey, whatever people put in there, man. I don't want any, negative stuff. Now I can't control people, what y'all type in there, but yeah, man. I think I'm gonna end off on that. Thank you for watching the video. If you watched it all the way through, I'm gonna come back on Monday with some Madden. I ain't gonna be preaching to y'all every day now. I know some of y'all ain't even trying to hear all that all the time. I ain't gonna be preaching all the time. So I got some Madden coming Monday, and I got some Madden coming Wednesday, and I got some Madden coming Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, so I'll see y'all on Monday or tomorrow. And yeah, we got some more air raid stuff coming up. Got some more in the 3-4 using the Steelers, as you know. I'm gonna stick with the Steelers until the new Madden comes out. And yeah, so remember, it's GITG. Give it to God. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.